Yeah, SKN. It's Monday morning, and we're in studio. Kevon, you hearing us?
Came that way. Good morning, people. Oh Lord.
Kevon stuck the space connection. The space connection.
Azem, the first thing I say this morning, right?
You call it go up mouth. Tell the people what you do.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
We'll fix it.
Okay.
Is
But-
it really my opinion?
Yeah, I believe it's your fault because it was one of them things. Even the light wasn't working. I was like, what? But, yeah, such is life. But it's now, what time is it? It's now 8:13 a.m. and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good today. How you doing, Jade?
I am fit, slightly cloudy. I know what's wrong now, so I'm feeling a lot better.
Okay.
But I'm fine. I had a relaxing Mother's Day, so
Yeah.
I feel hopeful for this week. Like tropical flow. We dressed alike?
We dressed alike?
I don't.
I guess fauna.
Okay,
Yeah,
I guess so.
Fauna. Can't even say floral, like, but fauna. Yeah.
Thank you, Kitty. Thank you so much, Kevon. I am so sorry. That was my bad.
Oh boy.
Don't look at me that way.
Yeah, but yeah, I wanna wish belated Mother's Day to all the mothers who regularly tune in, all the
Yes.
mothers who tuning in today for the first time. I know you had a nice Mother's Day with your bestie
Yes, and my sister in Nevis.
and your sister in Nevis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yasu.
Who Yasu?
I don't want. Her name is Yasu Lacey Grant. She prints. Remember?
That's his
that-
sister?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Got you.
Sister by faith.
Okay, I got you.
Yes.
Nice. I did lunch.
Where you went to lunch?
We did Spice Mill. They had a
Alright.
special for the moms.
There was a special on the boat yesterday. Lord, y'all made us feel so nice. Like we were going to Nevis, and as soon as we got over, the man was like, "For Mother's Day, we reducing the price for you guys."
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So all mothers got a reduction in price going to Nevis yesterday.
Yes.
Interesting.
I know. I
Interesting.
hope. I'm pretty sure it was the same.
That's Jade's fault. That's Jade's
Morning. How are you doing?
But,
Don't give me that face.
Yeah, but Kevin, we here discussing how we spent Mother's Day yesterday. Were you able to connect with your mother yesterday from space?
Yes, I did. I had to be careful to dodge the falling rocket, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was able to connect.
Nice.
Did they like virtually put you into the dinner? Like, did they put you
For
in
a brief
chair?
moment.
Aw, that's sweet.
For a brief moment. I don't know how sweet that is. That is like, okay, he gone, guys. We could
Yeah,
actually
because they
enjoy
can't
ourselves now.
overdo it because then he can just be there hungry because he ain't eating what they eating.
Which
I'm
was
sure.
exactly what was happening
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah,
didn't
they
think
can't
about that.
overdo it.
They didn't even think about that. You're right.
because, like, imagine you seeing these plates of food and you just have to be like,
Must be nice.
And they're eating space crackers.
Dehydrated
and then
crackers.
they're like, oh yeah, this tastes so good, and I'm like, yeah.
Who cooked yesterday, Kevon?
I think
My brother.
about to guess Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About to guess Justin.
Okay. Nice. But I saw a lot of people, posting up the different Mother's Day activities.
Yeah, Mother's Day seems to be like a spectacle. I didn't realize.
What? It's been that way for a couple of years now.
Well, I've never.
It's
been a
always
part
been,
of
but
the
I feel like
spectacle in
this
that
year was
way.
a little bit extra.
I just think social media makes everything extra, and every
Well, I
year
wasn't
gets,
talking
it gets
about
most
social
and
media
most.
because this is my first time on Mother's Day that I've actually went out and did anything. Because last Mother's Day I was just home.
Mm.
So what I mean is to see everybody outside. Like these moms were dressed down, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Dressed to the is 9th that I say or the 10th. What the saying is?
To the nines.
Okay, that
Just
they were
down to the
dressed, okay? Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah, I'm
it
showing out.
starts from early morning, eh? Like, you gotta go to, like, some people, you gotta go to church first, Yeah, the house, right. So you do the big breakfast, then you go to church, then you do a wardrobe switch, and get ready for whatever the afternoon activities are.
Big breakfast. How you might fit in a big breakfast before church?
Bro,
get it done, okay?
Not there.
The kids.
The kids and daddy and so got to get what?
They know the schedule. Then your
we
mom
just
go in
reverse it
church
because
with or without this breakfast, and you don't want her to go to church hungry on Mother's Day. So
church first, then breakfast because nope.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yes, Kitty, we agree.
But I think a lot of mothers really, felt the appreciation, and like I said, just want to send my appreciation out to the mothers, to the expectant mothers,
to the aunties. We can't forget the aunties and the best friends, and the godmummies and all these people.
Yeah,
that's one of the people I don't get all that though. I feel it cheapens the mummies.
It doesn't, because sometimes there are situations where these people have to play the role of a mummy.
Yeah, but then you're a mummy.
Well, you see, I rather Jade say it than I say it. So.
That's something. That's something. I was discussing with somebody up to Friday. Actually, the person is actually related to Kevon, and I didn't know. But yeah. And they're like, Kevon, I didn't tell you we related. I was like, no.
Who's this?
They told me not to call your name Anya.
Okay, you can send it to me.
But the thing about, like, and I know where it comes from, like, the old people say put a handle to somebody's name.
I never heard them say that. I've not been around as many old people as you.
Yeah, it happens. You need to work on that.
I know, I should. Yeah. Give me
a couple old people. Link in a couple old people. But yeah, they said put handle to somebody's name, so you can't really call the older people in your parents' friends and so, like, the first name and things. So you gotta say auntie so and so, auntie so and so.
When I was a child, I had the most uncles.
Yeah, uncle this and auntie that.
Because a lot of the times you, by association, you have friends of your parents, they're automatically aunts and uncles.
Exactly.
And then it's only in your adult age when you start to be like, well, your teen or adult years, you start to be like, how we related to so and so? Oh, y'all in family.
Yeah, but you see, that's my thing. My thing is that it makes it difficult to keep the family ties tight, because you're giving these titles to, like, everybody. So then you end up in situations where cousins dating cousins because they don't actually know who the family, who is your actual auntie from who is your auntie and who is your uncle. And
it's only when you bring them over,
right, like,
your mother call you and they say, they come here.
Where can father be? Where you live?
You should probably carry back.
Yeah, like, my parents, well, the funny thing for me was, my parents, like my aunt, none of my aunts made it an issue for me to call them auntie anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like, so that wasn't a thing. And then my parents wouldn't force me to call somebody auntie this, or they wouldn't introduce people to me as auntie anything. The only people that would happen was if there were persons who were, like, close friends of the family, but they were also older.
My father had a problem.
They were also older than my parents.
Listen.
You know that way? Like,
oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like they're old, yes.
Yeah. Because I used to live with my dad from a baby, like from 3 months, like, his friends automatically were uncle. Like, every time he would introduce me to somebody, he'd be like, uncle. I'm like,
how much uncles I have?
Me and Ricky on the same wavelength.
I mean, like it at all.
Granny ain't had so much people in the house. How come all of them is be uncle?
Yeah, it's confusing to kids. Like, you know how much,
Yeah. I mean, some of them I still call uncle, but some of them I'm like, because they never like kept in my life constantly, so I don't feel the need to call them uncle.
Right. Like, my father would introduce his friends to me as Mr. So and so. Mr. Manchester,
yeah,
the Mr. Boncampo, they're just like, so. May not understand what I'm gonna.
No, that's fine. I think I feel the same
I
way you
think what's
feel.
also,
However,
I think a good thing though is I feel like the person should kind of be able to control what they want to be called in some, of course there's exceptions to the rule and stuff.
because we can't give everybody the
Feel-
power
you
at
want-
all.
Like
Yeah,
not like
some
no
people that go
like
crazy
no
with
no
that.
no no
Call me Big
random
Papa.
friend that come and say, oh
Excuse me.
call me uncle.
No.
But I think
Inappropriate
giving
much.
them the chance to say what they want to be called
I think I've had a
few.
few situations where somebody would have said, "Yeah, you know me, I's auntie so and so," and then
no,
and then
miss.
and then my
No,
mother
miss.
just put me aside and then your auntie.
That's really stressed me
When
out.
you're giving
when
out your
people
mother
see
news
you.
on the road.
That stressed me out when people see you and they go, yeah, remember me?
No.
No. I know
Ma'am,
you
I
since
ain't
you're a
see you since I
baby.
was
No. How much
5.
people how much people meet you in the road and tell you they change your diaper?
Exactly, and how
like,
am I
yeah,
and
supposed
I'm
to
just
remember
like-
you
and
from
I'm
then?
just like,
Even
oh,
even if they're
okay.
not lying, Azem. Hold on, I know they lie because that make no sense.
My mother ain't in that. Yeah.
How am I at 2 years old supposed
to
to remember
remember you.
somebody? No, I'm 22.
Yeah, you wasn't around all them times.
Ma'am,
You saw me
no,
once.
just
You
say
saw me
hi.
once when I was 5. And you saw me again when I'm in mid 30s. How am I going to remember you?
What? You don't
What
make
am I,
y'all
an
don't make
elephant?
sense.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Y'all don't make sense.
You know what's
for
gonna be
real.
funny when we turn into these people?
Oh, not me, you're crazy.
Not me. Please
Hey,
don't
okay,
remember
you
me.
see
My
that?
child, I remember from my childhood.
It gotta be funny. It gotta be funny
No,
when
I could tell you because my cousin, I used to take my cousin to school when I moved and lived with them. And so it was like big cousins and little cousins.
Mhm.
The little cousins were more like 2 and 3 and 7 and stuff. Like,
under 10.
yeah, so some of them right now, like, some of them we're the same age, and it's funny because we just lime together and stuff. But it's not like weird, like when your father and you go liming together, which not your father, mine, because yours don't lime in that way. But I used to take him to Miss Lap preschool every day, and now I see the kids that he used to go to Miss Lap preschool with. I'm not going to run up to them kids and be like, "You remember me when I used to take my little cousin here?" Like,
Oh
what?
yeah, that they're
Them
weird.
kids don't watch me like,
That's kind of weird.
who kind of old weird woman this?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
To be honest, I'd rather you tell me like, oh, I know you since you were a little child, than to ask me if I remember you. Because
I met you once when your father bring you here randomly. That still sounds weird, Kevon.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of the situations. It's not people you
the one-time
constantly
thing,
see.
Right. Yeah, I don't mind. I like, this is the thing, I understand people wanting to create the connection. Like, I understand that.
No, I don't.
But no, I understand it. Like, if I'm dealing with somebody, for instance, we have guests who have come here, and after the show, whatever, they'll be like, "Oh yeah," but you know what I would say? "I know your dad, or I know your
Yes.
mom, or me and your
Yes.
mom went to school." Like, I don't mind establishing connection.
That sounds better than
Yeah.
coming up to me and telling me, "I know you since you was a little child. I changed
You know what
your
it is?
pamper." That's weird.
You know what it is? The expectation.
Of
The
what?
expectation that you're gonna remember them. That's why.
When I was
that's
2?
That's the weirdo. That's the weird part. But
When I was 2, that doesn't make sense. How is this contributing to my adult life?
they don't even remember you too. As a matter of fact, they probably just still see you as the little child.
well, not just that, most of them don't even know you, your age, what you do with yourself, nothing. I mean, many strangers used to approach me. You still in school? And I'm like, long I finish? Like,
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
if you don't really know, it's every time they see me for like the past 10 years, oh, you're still going to school? You finished yet? Again?
Yeah. But it's always interesting to see how that dynamic plays out. But like I said, I don't actually I like when people like, establish the connections and let me know where they might know me from, etc. But
It's a way.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
way
the
you
way,
do it.
yeah,
It's
it's
the way
right.
you do it and the words you use.
the expectation. Don't give me the expectation and then like seemingly upset that I don't remember you. Like,
That's not how my attention span works. I don't even remember things happening last week. I supposed to remember you from when I was 2?
yeah.
I don't
When my
remember
mind on
myself.
Cheetos and Legos? My mind is on you? I barely remember seeing you. I could remember the Cheetos that my father bought me, from as a 2-year-old. I can remember you as an adult.
Yeah.
You wasn't important in my life. I can remember the teddy bear.
I could meet you. Listen, I just struggle with names and all them things. I could meet you
Listen, that's a
yesterday,
whole
and
different
today I can't
story.
recall none.
You ever
I'm
have
antisocial, so them things.
yeah, they have to.
yeah,
But you ever
that
have
too.
somebody that you met, and like every time you see each other, like y'all say hi and stuff, but you just don't know that person's name.
on a daily basis.
Yeah. There was some people at one of my, when I had just leave CFP, I used to work at Scotiabank, and there was some people names I just honestly couldn't remember, and I just gave them new ones. Like there was this one girl, I cannot tell you the woman's real name, but I called her Jennifer because I couldn't remember it.
Oh, yeah, she just looked like a Jennifer.
Wow.
I know what you
I
mean.
just called her Jennifer, and that was it. I just used to I give people names sometimes because I just can't remember, the actual name.
My thing is, I remember faces. I don't always remember context. So there's people I would know, like, I know you from somewhere, but I don't always remember the context. So, yeah, I wouldn't really shun. But I also do this thing, and quick story before we go to a break. There's a thing I do where if you don't trigger some sort of familiarity in me, I'm very reluctant to
having a conversation.
to even acknowledge you're calling out to me. There was a time when I was laying at this one particular spot, and there's a bunch of guys all hanging out together, and this guy comes down the road and he goes, I can say the guy's actual name.
Oh, I thought it was yours. Never mind.
And the guy comes down the road and he goes, "Yo, Smiley, what going on?"
Right, Smiley?
No, he didn't say Smiley. I just used Smiley as a. He called it.
Smiley. Look, no.
No, he called the guy nickname. But you know the story going, Jade. So the guy whose name he actually called out to say, "Yo, what going on?" And the guy walks over to him all chipper and happy and whatever. And when he reach over, give him a one box in the face, boy.
No.
Apparently, the guy had messed with the guy's sister earlier in the day. And the sister just give him a name and we hit a lime. So the guy come down all nice and happy and just was like, call out the guy name and just wait till he's gonna answer.
Wow.
And it catch everybody so off guard
Yes.
that everybody just like,
Honestly
wait, what just happened?
That's awful, Azem. That is, wow.
Everybody just there like, wait, what just happened? We don't understand. But so that's why I don't acknowledge you if you don't trigger familiarity.
Wow. I don't even...
So
That
if
is
you call out to
wild,
me,
boy.
if you call out to me and I didn't
And no, in a way.
yeah, and I didn't give you the reaction you expected, perhaps I just didn't recognize
don't know what
you. Yeah.
happening, so
And it wasn't with the mask, them. Like I don't know who nobody be the mask.
Aye, let me tell you something.
That too.
That is...
I like the fact that masks kind of disguise you, but for some reason everybody just know me still because I have on a mask and a hat, and everyone's Kevon, and I'm just like,
After traffic talk, I'm going to tell y'all a story about that and how I feel like people just be lying to you for no reason. But guys, we will take a very short break and be right back with LNT right here on WINNMedia SKN. Stay tuned.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. Attention all drivers. I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down. Too many stunt drivers on the road, man. With the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never. So why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause of plenty mishaps. The road is now a racetrack, threatening life and property, and all the result of that led to death and injury. Inconsiderate driving, this nonsense need to stop. Stop. I'm making it my business to alert all motorists, especially those who love to break traffic laws. I have seen what speed can do. Here I am to your rescue to help you to live. Just take this advice I give. I want in all drivers to take care of your passengers. Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. How much more tragedy we have to endure to face the reality. Less is safer than more. I'm begging all my friends. Be careful on the road. Slow it down, slow it down. Hey, Roger, watch out for them donkeys. Slow it down, man. Hey. Slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down, down. Especially by the school zone.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwen Johnson. And we are joined in studio by our friends from Traffic Talk. Welcome and good morning.
Good morning, Kevon. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be here.
How are we doing today?
We have in our studio a very important guest, which I would prefer if he introduced himself. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, WINN FM. Good morning, all of those in the radio land. Good morning, Sergeant Brown. Thanks for having me here. I'm no stranger to the media. Andrew Nisbet, most people call me King Hollywood, the reigning Calypso King for Culturama.
And as it relates to our traffic talk, what affiliation, if there's any, do you have with this traffic talk?
Well, some years ago, I put over this song. A friend of mine, unfortunately, had a fatal accident, and I decided to write a song about speeding. And I remember when I brought it to the studio a long ago, way back in, I think it's 2009, everybody in the studio laughed at me. Everybody in the studio laughed at me. This was the first studio that I actually brought this song. And everybody laughed at me like, Hollywood, you're singing about speeding? And I remember my comment to that person, that the reaction, you know, I said to them, well, you take a cokehead to tell you, keep away from coke, right? Yeah, so it's nice to be back after so many years. Mm-hmm. I'm thrilled with the fact that I never know this song would have lived so long, and I see it's still going. I hear it almost every week in terms of on the traffic or when I do tune in. And, you know, many times people would say, boy, I heard this song on the radio and all sort of things. But the truth is, giving a free advice like this and giving an advice like this to save a life,
Yeah.
I feel overwhelmed.
Yes. It's been quite a while now since I've been trying to get you along with us.
Yes.
And I felt so glad, so happy when you really tell me, yes, Brown, I'm going to be here Monday morning. And I really want to commend you. Thank you for being here with us and sharing your, as you said, your experience, sad as it may be, in the fact that you would have lost a friend, which compelled you to write this song. And it's been a very, very good song. I mean, we've been using it as our theme song for many, many years.
Right.
You said you composed it in 2009?
I think it was 2009.
Okay, so since then we have been using this song. So want to thank you very much on behalf of the police force on the whole, and most of the traffic department for being a partner with us, and so to at least send the message to
the message,
the
slow down,
slow it
down. Yeah. Azem, slow down.
Aye, one thing you know about me, you know. I can't take on Sergeant Brown catch him in a way. So.
Yeah, it seems like we might have to go from here to the studio to compose another song.
What we gonna sing about this time?
I know we will figure out something.
Oh Lord, it must be.
Yeah, we could sing about the tint and the cell phones all those other stuff.
Buckle up. So buckle up. Yeah, man.
But I will give it a different twist, right?
Of course,
yeah. I definitely give it a different twist. With me, when I compose, and I love to think out the box. I don't like to sing songs that it's something that you hear with in terms of like, I could have read about that. I want to make you think. I want to, this kind of stuff. Yeah. So if I was to sing a song, we also do another traffic, and I was to talk about tilt, for example. I would twist it in a way like maybe the police want to pee in my car. Some people might talk about safety.
Yeah, we want the pee in there to make sure who is supposed to be there. Yeah. So you're correct with that. Yeah, we want to make sure that
I'm getting bun, as we say locally, I'm getting bun. So you see the spin.
You see the twist. Yeah, that's the twist.
Yeah, so how is Nevis? How is the traffic there in Nevis?
Well, the federation is one.
Yeah, one federation.
One federation, and speeding is 40 miles per hour is I think the highest is what, 60 or
40?
40 is the highest
yes.
speed limit in terms of miles per hour.
Yeah.
But in the federation, some people drive 20, some drive 40, some drive 80. The police come out once in a while and do the thing, but
right.
St Kitts and Nevis is St Kitts and Nevis.
Of course, yeah. We are one federation.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like I said, in this song, I still want to, encourage as many people, if not all, to definitely stick to the traffic laws, stick to the speed limit.
Yes.
And save some lives.
Because what we have realized is that speeding contributes to almost
a lot of things.
Most of these accidents.
A lot of things.
Speeding.
And some these days when you're driving, you can't even think about yourself. You got to think about others.
Other road users.
Yeah. Some people panic in certain situation and cause a mayhem.
Right.
So if you could get a little more tune again.
Yeah, man. Right now we're gonna play King Hollywood's smash hit.
Raining King.
Slow down.
Slow down.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. Attention all drivers, I'm begging you to slow it down, Too many stunt drivers on the road, man. With the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never, so why all the hurry? Mishaps. The road is now a racetrack, threatening life and property, and all the result of that led to death and injury. Inconsiderate driving, this nonsense need to stop. I'm making it my business to alert all motorists, especially those who love to break traffic laws. I have seen what speed can do. Here I am to your rescue to help you to live. Just episode. How much more tragedy we have to endure to face the reality. Less is safer than more.
Yes, welcome back. Welcome back to Traffic Talk. I want to say happy belated Mother's Day to all mothers. I apologize. That should have been at the top.
True.
Yeah, I wanted to say I hope and trust and pray that all the mothers will taken care of, were pampered, for lack of a better word.
Indeed, yes.
So I know there's a lot of females, a lot of mothers tune into our radio weekly program. So I want to say I hope and trust that you all had a happy Mother's Day, relaxing as it may be. So thanks. And without the mothers, without you, our mothers, we would not have been here. So yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
I want to end us belated happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Definitely, you know, the what I wanted to use a word, you know, that cover the whole thing, you know, comprehensive. But yeah, man, short and simple. Yeah, happy mothers,
happy belated
Mother's Day, definitely.
But you know, as I was speaking to someone yesterday, the person told me every day is Mother's Day. They don't single out no day. Every day is Mother's Day. So yes, thank you, mothers. My mom, I'm sure she's tuning in. She's listening. Happy belated Mother's Day, mommy. Yeah. And while we await you the calls, we just want to appeal to all motorists again to continue obeying our speed limit, our traffic laws. As the King rightfully said, the life you save could definitely be yours and your family.
Well, Sergeant Brown, someone is on the live saying that my real concern is that of the speeding passenger buses.
Yes. We get a lot of report, a lot of calls of the passenger buses speeding along. But the thing is that you are traveling with at least 14, 15 innocent souls with you in your bus. Why you would want to take that risk and speed along, and it just take one simple mishap, and imagine that. So please be appealing to all drivers, not just the passenger buses, every drivers, to slow it down, as our theme song says, slow it down. I'm told that we have a call. Caller, you're live on Traffic Talk. Go straight ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
You got some people I need to meeting with. Drive some vehicle.
I'm not here. Could you speak a little hard? I'm not here. I'm not hearing you clearly. Caller?
You hear me?
Okay, go ahead. I'll make out. Caller, you're still there?
Yeah, still here, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. But what's your concern?
You have some people that drive some vehicle mark 869 go. I think you all need to keep a meeting with them. They do some real reckless driving. I know they got to deliver hot food, but they need to be careful how they're driving. You all need to keep a meeting with that person in charge of those people and let them understand they got different road users. They're becoming a hazard to people.
You say what company?
869
869 to go. Oh, that's the food delivery service.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Fair enough.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, yeah, and guys, Jade, what's the number again for people to call in? Jade is supposed to know these things.
Listen, ask Kevon. Kevon, know it off the top of his head.
Kevon,
I cannot remember it off the top of my head right now.
Have no fear, for I am here. So you can call 466-0989, 662-0989, 762-0989. The US numbers. I have to read them. Yeah. So 718-285-6984 or 305-921-4619.
All right, guys, but we actually have another caller on the line. Caller, good morning and live on Traffic Talk.
Good
Good morning, folks. Good morning, traffic department and
Good morning.
gentleman who sing the song, Slow It Down.
Good morning.
I don't know if it's a suggestion or a recommendation, but normally when you driving behind a passenger bus, it appears to me what the driver does is put up the passengers and let the driver cross the road in front of them, and they're trying to direct the traffic from their seat. And to me, that is a very dangerous position to be in. I normally deal with passengers, and what I do, I will put up the passengers and leave them there for the oncoming vehicle to determine whether that person
should cross,
should give leave to cross or not, because the person who moves in the traffic, who is leading the traffic, have more control over the traffic than a vehicle that is at a standstill. And so to me, it's a very dangerous position for bus drivers to do, to stop and let the driver cross in front of the bus, because you never know what is going to happen. It's very difficult to direct traffic from a sitting vehicle when you're in the seat of a vehicle that is at a standstill. And to me, that's a dangerous position. I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
In Frigate Bay, the number of lamps are knocked out. Railway are broken down. Who is actually responsible to replace those? Because they look really awful. So many lamps are missing. So many rails are torn down. So if another car were to get in that position, I mean, it's really bad, because one rescue one and now there's none. So therefore, to me, I'm wondering who's supposed to replace them and when. Because it appears to me like if somebody knocks out a post, they're supposed to put it back. They're supposed to pay to put it back. But the cars are back on the road, the people are back and walking, and everything back to the same, and the things that are damaged are still unrepaired. I listen off here. Thank you very much for the program, and thank you for educating the population. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you very much, caller. You have a good day as well. What I can say to that call is that what I'm aware of that is if a traffic accident occurred and one of the lamps are damaged or broken or what the electricity department would do, they'll contact us and we'll share that relevant information as to who might have been responsible for damaging or breaking that electricity pole, and they'll take it from there. That is as far as the police can come in and deal with. We share that information with the electricity department, SCELEC, and inform them as to who might have been responsible for damaging that pole, and as I said, they'll take it from there. So that is much.
So the traffic department doesn't necessarily deal with the replacement of the poles.
No, we don't. No, we deal with the accident per se, the offense that was committed.
Okay.
So what about the rails?
So does the traffic department think this is an issue that needs to be addressed? Because, like the caller said, there are numerous, especially on the Frigate Bay stretch between ECCB and.
Of course, it's a security. If that's the case, then it becomes a concern for the police.
Well, I think it's a concern that hasn't been addressed because, to be honest, there are poles that have been missing for years now, and it's not lighting the roads. Okay. So is that not a traffic? Of course, it is. Issue?
Yeah, it is. As I said, it now becomes a security risk hazard if there are poles missing. That means that particular area might not be properly lit as it should be. So what I will do, I will speak with the officers from the Frigate Bay department and have them look at to see where these poles might be missing from and do the necessary follow-up. So thank you very much for drawing that to my attention. As I said, I'm not aware that there are poles missing in the Frigate Bay area. So I'll contact the officers who's in charge of the Frigate Bay police station and have them look into it. So. Yes. As we await you to call our valuable caller, we just want to again I ask you to continue to obey the traffic laws on the street. King?
Well, I'm here a student now, so I'm in a position where I could give kudos to Jazik Shiverton. He was the one to arrange this song many years ago. Of course, you all should know Jazik Shiverton, Greenhouse Band. I worked with him many years. in terms of producing, and so he was the one to put the music together and produce this song, this lovely song that seemed to have some life to it.
Positive effect.
Yes. Otherwise than that, nothing else on my mind in terms of from that angle. Okay.
I'm told that we have another caller. Caller, go straight ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk. Okay. Caller, you feel free to call back. We might have missed your call, so.
So, Sergeant, last week, Friday, I realized y'all were doing an exercise by the police station. How did that go? Was that successful?
I wasn't a part of that exercise, but from our report, yes, it was successful. We were able to address a number of issues, situations, and persons were advised, not just ticketed, they were advised as to what they are to do. So as we don't always just go just to ticket. We also give advice and.
Right.
Can you tell the people what the exercise was?
I can't say right now.
Right.
I can't say on air right now.
But
But it was a
Was
exercise
it a
carried out by the
secret
police.
exercise?
No, it wasn't a secret.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's not. No.
But yeah, we actually do have a caller on the line. Caller, good morning, you're live on Traffic Talk.
Yeah, morning.
Good morning.
The traffic light by volume out there, going up there. When you all turn on those lights, what happens to the people who lives up those roads? Like if I Jade them and all of it, those roads gonna become one way?
What I'm aware of, caller, is that the two roads that leaving the Hasford complex, there are two roads that goes up. I can't give the names off the top of my head, but those roads will be made into one way going up.
And what about the rest of them?
And the last two closer to the factory roundabout end, those two roads would be made one way coming down. That I'm aware of.
So if you all have done that before, I don't think you would need a light. To me, I just point up all these lights all over the place, wasting people money.
Don't look at it that way, Carl.
Anyway, that's why I'm doing. See you.
Thank you very much for your call and your concern. Yes, we are fast approaching our 9 o'clock hour, and I just want to again ask and appeal to all the drivers out there to slow it down. And I also, it slipped me to also thank our sponsor, Caribbean Alliance Insurance Company Limited. Thank you for being on board with us over the years. And yeah, I'm told we have another caller. Caller, go straight ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm calling in regards of the roundabouts.
Yes.
I actually called traffic, and a young lady, she was very helpful. She told me that Donnelly always speak about it. What I would like you guys to advise the general public that is driving on the roads in St Kitts, that they cannot overtake in the roundabouts.
Correct.
Just now, okay, I was coming from the Bird Rock end and turning towards Connery. I just want to ask a question and let folks that is listening understand how to use the roundabout. If I am going to Connery, which I was on the left side of the road, do I stay on the left side or I go on the right side of the road? This young lady, I can, if you want me to give out the vehicle number.
No, not at this time. Not at this time, no.
Right? But she decided to overtake me in the roundabout. She overtake me on the right side.
So you were coming from what direction? You were coming from where?
Connery. No, I was coming from Bird Rock, and both of us heading in the same direction.
So you would have come up the Kim Collins Highway?
Highway, yes.
Yes, and your intention was to go?
I remain on the left side, and she take the right side and overtake me right in the roundabout. Right? And we were driving, and when we're coming on close to the airport entrance to going to the airport, that's where she passed me. Right? I need you guys to speak to these people and let them know they cannot overtake in the roundabout, because if it was an ignorant person, there would have been an accident this morning. All right? That's all I'm calling to talk about.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller. I am glad that you let good sense and common sense prevailed. And as I say, if it was someone else, there might have been a mishap. I'm glad that there weren't any mishap. And what I always advise persons to do whenever they're approaching or even when they're in a roundabout, always bear in mind, pay attention to other person who might, I underscore, might not be familiar with how you to properly go around the roundabout. So always bear in mind, look out for those persons who are not as familiar as to the proper usage. So
Sergeant, sorry, not to cut you off, Sergeant Brown,
Yes.
but apparently that caller was in the wrong lane.
Yeah.
No.
To my understanding of how roundabout works,
If he should have been
the outer. He should have been in the inner lane,
in the inner
which is
lane,
on the right side of the roundabout.
go around to Connery
because-
direction.
Yeah, so he was in the wrong
Yeah.
lane.
The caller?
But do you see? This is the issue we
But-
keep talking about.
Yeah, but still,
that the fact that the
but-
roundabouts are not being marked. If they are correctly marked, we would avoid most of these issues. However, they are not marked, and those that are marked incorrectly, and then we've been dealing with this issue for over a year now.
But
plus.
what I must praise that caller for is that, as he rightfully said, he let common sense prevail, and he did the right thing. He observed the vehicle as it was maneuvering around, and there weren't any mishaps. So I must commend that caller for being patient and being on the lookout for other vehicles as they traverse these roundabouts. So.
Yeah, but never mind. Kevon, you have a comment to read on the...
Yeah. So someone is saying that they've listened to. I know don't have much time left, but they're saying they've listened to the show for almost every week, but they've never heard you, Sergeant Brown, address the speeding of government vehicles and the tint of those vehicles. Are they exempted from both?
No one is exempted from. No one is above the law. Let me put it that way. Whether it be government vehicle, police vehicle, whatever vehicle, no one is above the law. Yes, police officers do get tickets, have their vehicle, their tints be removed on the spot. I must point out that as well too. Police vehicles are stopped. Police personal vehicle, that is, they are stopped, and the tints are being removed. And if they are caught speeding, yes, they'll be ticketed and be prosecuted if necessary. So we are not, none of us, we are above the law. So I hope that answers your question, my friend. Yes, it is now telling us, that is the clock on the wall is telling us that we have to wrap. King, any final parting words from you?
Yeah, definitely. It was a pleasure being here. Always nice to be in the studio of WINN FM. And I just want to echo your sentiment, what you would say all morning. Slow it down. Just like this song, slow it down. Let's save some life, or save your own life. My good friend Dawn Mills remind me, I think she's more educated than me in terms of the song, because she's saying Hollywood is not 2009, it's 2008. And so she might be right, you know. The brain getting old as if the brain getting old.
No man, just too much hits.
Too much hits. And so, but yeah, definitely, the Federation of St Kitts and Nevis, drivers, please, let's stick to the traffic laws, 40 miles per hour. If you have somewhere to go, try your utmost best to leave in advance. When I say in advance, a couple minutes. Or
Give yourself
enough time, exactly. Don't put yourself to that limit where you have to be stepping on the pedal like that. And these days is not like before. The traffic is really tight now. Nearly every month, the boat coming from Japan, everybody want their own vehicles. So the traffic now is a lot more than 5 years, 10 years ago. So slow it down. One love.
Yeah, thank you very much, King Hollywood, and we look forward to you being a more regular part of our show.
It could be possible. It could be possible.
I know you will make it possible.
Could be possible.
So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. For those who were able to call in, those who just decide to listen, we want to thank you very much for being a part of our program every week right here on WINN FM 98.9 FM. I'm Sergeant Brown from the Traffic Department, and I'm looking forward to be here in the hot seat again next week, Monday, God's space. So be good and be good to others.
Thank you guys so much for coming. Officer, don't forget to follow up on the lights, the traffic, the street lights and the railings, because we do want an update on that on Monday.
Sure, of course, definitely.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less with our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwen.
Crass and crude.
No, I'm not.
Crass and ever crude.
I'm really not. That's not. It's, why did caller? Why would you shout out my address on the?
See, people miss it, but now they're going back to look.
Listen,
exactly. Come on, Jade. You just put yourself on blast.
No, I felt like he put me on blast.
But he was really looking out for your best interest.
Yes, and I appreciate it.
Love it.
Listen,
Love it.
I've had questions about those same traffic lights, but meh. I'm not in charge of the department.
I still ain't fully understand anyone by brown sugar, but hey.
We're not. We just come on the way to talk.
I hope that the traffic department can come in on Monday and tell us some updates that are of relevant substance, because reading the tint book over and over don't help when there are countless issues on the road, like the lights. That's a great one. I constantly think about it, but I never thought to bring it up. But why are there missing lights on the road that have been missing for years that haven't gone up? And then you're saying that an investigation is what we investigating, that there's not. The investigation
really is who foot in the bill. That's really all it is, because
which I think is something that needs to be addressed after.
But no, because who can fix it? So people like that's really why it is.
Somebody needs to put it back up.
Yeah, because
usually how
when
it
there's
works,
nobody
I think how
named
it works
somebody.
in some countries is if you knock it down, you fix it. But they
Yeah.
will put it back up, and then you have to pay it down or pay it off, whatever the case is.
Listen.
But why is it that the country must go without lights? Because the question
fall
is who
asleep.
paying for it.
Listen, one time.
So everybody must be at risk on the road because somebody ain't paying for lights. I mean,
Yeah. And people
2
actually.
plus 2 is often equals 4, but what it equaling in this case?
People actually sometimes do these things and escape. I should say, because one time somebody knocked down my lamp post outside of my house and it fell into my yard, and that bus man just sped off, tires burning.
Yeah, that's one of the things. But like at the end of the day, it needs to get addressed, right?
Yeah, you know, regardless of who needs to pay for it, it needs to be fixed because putting others' road safety at risk because of some outstanding bill is absolutely ridiculous.
But not only
that, this weekend, and it was dark. When I tell you, right, there was no lights on the side of that road. It was pitch black, Azem. I don't even remember where it was, but it was going to the country. It was going to like Sadler's area, Kevon around there, before Kevon, but there was no lights. Listen.
You know, far can be from Sadler's?
Because that's the gap. I was going to Sadler's. I don't remember which, between Kevon to Sadler's, I don't remember where it was.
Like, it was a village, or it was just like just a place that wasn't really populated?
I don't know.
Because there's some places
too dark to tell.
Yeah, okay. There's some places where there's no traffic lights, like like Ammon Walk, and in between, like Tabernacle, and but nobody lives there.
I was just so concerned because you can't see if anything is until maybe it's too late. Like you can't really see between. I don't know. I don't like it. Fix it.
Yeah, because if we have to be honest, yes, the lights have cars, but the lights cast on the street itself, not on objects in front of it immediately. So most of the time, if there's actually something in front of you, your car lights are not going to show it unless you have on your high beams.
Yeah, but I guess they're just, but all across the island, there's places where need to for the lighting to be addressed. So
yeah.
But okay, well, I don't know. On the weekend, I don't know if y'all we're switching gears a little bit here. Kevon, somebody from India is asking if you remember somebody called Tanika James.
Somebody from where?
India. They said, "Hello from India, bro. Kevon, do you remember Tanaka James?" Sorry, I pronounced it wrong.
No.
I do.
He'll check the live.
Yeah. Well, no, because remember this is on Twitch. So
that's Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, let me pull up Twitch. Sorry.
But wait, before you pull up Twitch, you have to give our favorite intro for what, Joseph.
Oh man.
I keep butchering my name, man.
Yeah, because. Come on, Kevon, let's go. We have things to do. All right, we're gonna just accept it. So on the weekend, I was listening to a very interesting episode of Inside the News. There was EK, there was Fonts, it was hosted by Jan Williams, our fave, and there was also MJ Byron and True Capo, and they were talking about some gripes that they have with the industry currently. I mean, not things that we haven't echoed. I feel like we've talked about some things, but one of the interesting points, I think. Well, we're going to play some of the interesting points and weigh in on them. So this is the first one that I thought was very thought-provoking.
During the time, like such as COVID right now, entertainment can hit the hardest, right? The hardest. You have, forget St Kitts, outside of St Kitts, you have artists, forget the artists now. Let's talk about the engineers, the lightsman, the person who's setting up stage, the production guys, the vendors, the people, people in St Kitts and Nevis depend on something happening on the weekend for the business. Store owners, hairdressers,
makeup
nail techs, makeup artists, all of these people who are not, and technically we take a strain off the government because government can't employ everybody, right?
Yeah, so that was just one of them. I was like, I don't think people think about that side as much as they think about us trying to party. Like I feel like when people think about these things, that's all they think about. Oh, we just want party and we just want to go out.
Yeah, even up to the highest levels of decision making. I had a situation one time when I was speaking to one of the decision makers in regards to the policies that have been instituted as it relates to entertainment. And one of the things that was said to me was, so you want us to put people at risk or whatever so people could drink rum and walk up. And I was like,
it's way beyond that.
And I'm like, no, we wanted to put things in place that allow people to work and feed their families. Like, one of the issues that I have, and Fans made a good point there as it relates to the support sector for entertainment. So, lighting companies, sound companies, engineers, lighting techs, people who provide tents, people who sell everything down to ice, right? In particular, I like to focus on the support staff, especially like people who have equipment. The reason for that is one of the issues that I constantly bring up, but I find is not discussed nearly enough, is the issue of asset depreciation. So I bought equipment to provide a service to the industry. For instance, I could use me as an example. So I rent equipment because there is no big events and things happening. Like, I have not been able to rent the equipment for now over a year, right? Mm-hmm. So at the same time, if I have bank loans, the banks are looking for the loan, looking for the money, and even if there's some relief given to me in that case, that does nothing for the depreciation. Now, why does that become a government issue? Because entertainment is to my knowledge, I think probably the only industry that has been put on hold and put down where the effects or the loss of revenue that you see is a direct result of the government policies. Mm-hmm. So you see loss of revenue across all industries. However, for instance, let's take tourism, which has seen a huge hit because of COVID, right? But one of the issues with tourism is that even though they've opened up to some extent, it's not necessarily only because of a government policy where they're seeing the reduction, but also because of a decrease in demand, right? So that's a whole global issue. Now with entertainment has been asked by governments all across the world to take this hit in order for national good, right? And public health.
Until they need you to do something for them.
Yeah, but
it's fine.
Well, I mean, even if they ask you to do something, I mean, I still think that they're still asking you to take a hit as an industry, right? So yeah, and that's not saying that they're not allowing anything, but just the limit on the numbers. The reason is not because of a decrease in demand. People want to go out, people want to have these things, but we understand that creates a problem for the rest of society. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. The government has asked us to, and rightfully so, because of the nature of the disease, to take a hit in terms of the numbers of people that go out. So that's not to do with demand. So, hey Kevin, what's going on? Pick up yourself. I hope you're being safe down there in Trinidad. But yeah, so that's one of the problems. The problems is that there's no real acknowledgement for that particular scenario, which is unique to entertainment. And the people that I really feel it for is people like myself who depend on these types of events to use the assets that they've invested in. And so you're asking us to pack up, you're asking us to keep these things to a low scale, you're asking us to do all of this thing, which rightfully so, but then again, okay, we're doing that for the country, but what is being done for us?
Nothing.
Right?
And put y'all job, because this is not a hobby. Put your job on the side and just relax.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to y'all whenever.
Yeah, so yeah. And don't get me wrong, I believe that part of the reason why we haven't seen more movement in terms of relief is partly because of us, the people involved in entertainment. A lot of us aren't registered, so it's very difficult for them to go and make cases to say, well, this is the loss that has been incurred by the industry. Now, I'm not saying that that's not impossible, because we see in other cases where there's way to verify and check and see these things. So, for instance, if there's a piece of land that's in dispute and nobody really got a deed, there's ways in which you go about to see, well, who has claim and all of these things. So the same thing could be done, but I do understand that we have a responsibility as well as people involved in the industry to do what we need to do, register it in Inland Revenue, who really and truly need to sort out the categories. Part of it is that there are really no categories for the variety of things that we do. But that's Social Security. A lot of people work in the industry who don't either pay security or get paid, or the employer pays Social Security for them. So these are some of the issues that we're facing.
Do you think a lot of this is because a lot of people don't realize the value in entertainment? Like a lot of the policies and everything that have shaped the country literally have not been inclusive of entertainment.
Yeah, and I think because
which is weird, because everything revolves around entertainment, if you think about it, from churches to...
Well, media on a whole. So there is nothing that moves without culture and media. Like, that's just where it is. It doesn't matter what it is. There's nothing that happens that excludes culture, media, and so by extension, those are the things that are commercialized in entertainment, right? So that's... But at the same time, I think, again, there's a couple of things at play here. There's very few examples of success from people fully dedicated to entertainment. And so you see a lot of entertainers who do entertainment as a hobby, who don't take even themselves seriously. So at the same time, when you have so many people involved in the industry that don't take themselves seriously, it's then difficult for other people to take them seriously. But the impact that entertainment, media, culture has on the economy, I don't even think that you could fathom exactly how big an impact it is.
And that's why when we went on lockdown and people started saying, oh, y'all just want to go party and all these things, that's when I really realized that they don't value us until it's beneficial for them. Like, y'all just think we out here just literally partying when it's way more than that. Like, look at the economy. Look at Nevis, for an example. Nevis has something happening that St Kitts could have had. Recently, the premier was thanking. Sorry, let me read the article, because it's basically saying there was an economic boost to Nevis recently, and it's because we are going over to Nevis to have some form of entertainment, whether it's vacation, whether you're just going to the bars to relax, and or whether if you're going to like a party they're having.
Domestic tourism on a whole
literally boosted the economy for Nevis, but we're just over here chilling. Anyway, let me let's move on to our second part of this video. And by the way, this video is again, it's inside the news from Saturday. It's the 8th of May. It was hosted by Jan, and they were having some very interesting discussions. So here's another snippet from that interview.
Industry better, so that we can maximize the full economic, social potential from the film industry. I just want to get some thoughts from you, because I believe you'll be leaving us in a while. But
okay, for film in particular, I mean, you got really put support behind us, direct. I mean, I shot my film like 5 years ago, and like asking for sponsorship was like the hardest thing. Yeah, it was like the hardest thing. And imagine some people come from the UK, and the setup shop's so easy here. I pressing on for years, trying to do this thing, and because, you know,
like an accent.
Yeah, probably like a little accent. Mind you, I was working on this film set in Nevis for like 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. I quit. I quit. I ended up quit because the energy wasn't feeling it, and I felt disrespected. Yeah, maybe we're not getting that, but I felt disrespected and I quit. But how they get things set up in so quick for them over there, you know? They get 20, they get discount when they buy this, no matter where they go. I mean, for me now, if I want something and they ask for a discount, it's like,
who you be?
You know
I mean, the government even went into the assembly to create laws to accommodate these people. To structure
I
it
really
for them,
want to know what you think about that, Capo, but we're going to break for...
Listen, okay? When I heard that, I said, excuse me? By the way, that was Nigel Chukapo Lewis, a great director here. Literally one of the longest going directors I can think about out of St Kitts, because I worked with Chukapo years ago when I was like 19, and he was doing this, and he's still doing this, and you can hear the help that he has not been given. So,
but I mean, this is something that's systemic across the arts, right? Where it seems as though we give a certain level of validity and value to foreigners as opposed to the locals. Like what Capo said is kind of telling, but at the same time, I remember going to a particular event that was held in regards to the films that are being shot in Nevis right now. And some of the things that were being said, like, for me, it was, let's just say, a misrepresentation of the facts. Because when you're saying things like starting the film industries, when we have internationally awarded films that were film produced, so like almost like there wasn't one here. When we have people that have come here before and shot movies since back in the 80s and probably before, that there were movies that were shot here.
Interesting.
No, particularly I want to say something about film, like, and I've said it here before on the show. I've said it in several different forums. I believe that based on where we are now, the help that the industry needs, and when I say the industry, I mean the creative industry, we should really focus on film. And the reason for that is that film encapsulates all the other disciplines, whether it's music, whether it's literature, literary, whether it's acting, theatrical, dance. Like, film is one of those unique mediums that really, it's like a convergence of all the different creative talents, right? So if you go hard and really empower that industry, empower that sector, then by extension, you're going to be empowering a lot of the other segments of the arts. But I've had some situations where like what he's talking about, they happen in music too. Like, we've had people who could come here and decide that they want to, let's say, have a songwriting or a recording camp, right? And they go and all of a sudden there's a cabinet meeting. All of a sudden there's approval for funds. All of a sudden they're staying at a luxurious resort, and the stay is funded by the government of St Kitts and Nevis, and I wonder, like, what you got to do to get a cabinet meeting to
go away. You have to. Well, actually, you've been doing all of that. I can't even.
But
I don't know what you have to do.
And the saddest part about it, not even any inclusion from local artists. No inclusion from local engineers.
Hold on.
There maybe was somebody to take some pictures and do some videos, but there was nobody from the music industry. There wasn't even rental, apart from the fact that they might have forgotten one small part of the production that was rented locally, but all the equipment was brought in from overseas and then left with them. They didn't even stay here. These things happen.
Well, it's funny you said that because I was about to say, Capo also made a point that they didn't consult with him. So you're putting laws in place for industry where the leader of the industry in the country that you're putting the laws for is not included in this discussion. So who did you consult with?
But not only that, I don't know if you guys read any of the law or parts of the law, but some of it I keep wondering if it includes us. No, because I really wouldn't want it to be honest. Some of it is like if you want to film, for instance, in Nevis, if you want to, according to the law now, if you want to film anything, you have to seek permission from, I think it's the Department of Culture. And in essence, I'm like, well, so if I'm somebody I've been filming here all the time, or whatever, all of a sudden now I have to, why?
Because they said so. That's it. Anyway, we have one last part of this interview. By the way, guys, if you want to watch this interview, you can go back and watch it on WINNMedia SKN's YouTube or Facebook page. But yes, one last little snip.
Or both.
One little tidbit, one last tidbit from this. I think it was from EK. Let's hear what he had to say.
The property that they're protecting. So it's the same way that if I rent in my house and I decide that this is my rent, that's my tariff.
Okay.
And it's up to you to either pay it or don't pay it.
But the government, any territory you're going to, government have the final say. Government could dictate straight up, this is the roof, this is the ceiling, this is the floor.
Government, I don't think government could do that in this instance because government is also a user.
So it wasn't something...
Government will also have to pay licenses.
I'm sitting here listening to Ayo with this back and forth, and you know what sticks out like a sore thumb? The lack of a conversation, the lack of consultation between all parties.
Yes.
You understand? And the protection of the people on the ground, which is supposed to be the ultimate task of the government, is to protect its people and protect whatever investment it has here.
Protect the industry.
And protect the industry. But if it's not formalized, if you don't even know that you have something precious, how the hell are you going to protect it? You understand? So you first have to get that understanding. And this whole conversation, if it doesn't reach the ears of the people who are in a position to do something, it's then an arrival.
You see, I actually agree with something that Fan said. Fan said that if they went up, paraphrasing, if they went after the government, perhaps we would have seen more.
Oh yeah.
But they chose to go after
funds
and K and Juice. So
which was the biggest dog at the time. So you got the biggest dog in the yard, and once you cut down that, then everybody's gonna fall in line. You understand? Like the president, when he spoke about all this, they get you with funds. Everybody is basically gonna get a grass cut. You understand? So it's up to now the Minister of Entertainment to get on the ground and start to do some work.
Well, so they were talking about ECHO, and ECHO collects funds on behalf of the artists and
its members, yeah.
Yeah, its members. So
not only its members, but royalties, performance rights, that kind of thing, because they are the agency that collects in our region. So, for instance, how it's supposed to work, there's reciprocatory agreements between all the CMOs. So you have some of the famous ones like BMI and ASCAP in the United States and stuff like that. Here we have ECHO, you have JCAP in Jamaica, and big up Kevon one time, they have CAT in Trinidad, sorry. Yeah, so for instance, if Beyonce songs play on the radio and things like that, then she's entitled to compensation for that. And so it's not like Beyonce can come here and collect it herself. She's a member, I think she's a member of BMI, could be wrong, but she's a member of ASCAP or BMI. And so Echo would collect here and then would pass it back on. The same thing happens for live performances as well.
So, who sets the rates that they collect? Like, who sets the percentages and all of that?
So the percentages are as it relates to. So I think there's a standard rate way of working it out. However, I know that there's some negotiation that happens.
Between who?
Between Echo and the license and the user.
That didn't happen.
Right. So there's a like I said, there's a standard one that
So they're
happens.
supposed to have a discussion with the stakeholder?
No, because it's already set. In other words, like if I tell you like this is the cost to rent my car, like this is the cost to rent my car, we can come back like we don't have to have a discussion. This is the cost to rent the car.
Okay, but I just feel like if you don't give people the chance to know what these institutions are about or to understand these institutions, like you can't just come and be like, okay, well, we're going to tax you on this, or we're going to collect money from you on this, and you don't have no say so when you've never had to go through that before. Like I feel like
so ignorance of the law is no excuse though.
Conversation with stakeholders, because they're going to be different in different countries, and if you are setting a percentage for each artist here, but the artist still is getting paid by the promoter, where is the balance? No, that's okay. What's the license? What's the license for? The license allows you to play the music in the public and you use for profit. So it does. In other words, if I keep an event and I hire DJ Crass and Crude, right? DJ Crass and Crude come and plays Idonia, plays Vibes Cartel, plays so nothing for Vibes Cartel and nothing for Idonia. Nothing for the people that wrote the song, nothing for the people that played on the song, nothing for the rights for the people who own the masters, nothing. So that's entertainers. That
it's a license to use
so that
the music.
now falls on promoters to have to pay for that.
Not only anybody that's trying to use the music. So for instance, I have been in places where I just want to know if they whoever using the music.
But do they apply this all across the board? Because
across the board meaning what?
Everyone.
In St Kitts, there are music fest has been paying for years. There's places in Nevis. Marriott has been doing it. There's a bunch of places. Also, I think there is maybe one or two restaurants, because restaurants supposed to pay, bars supposed to pay, like anywhere. For instance, I was giving you this example. I was in a particular country, went to work, and I'm standing in the line, in the bank line, and I see some people walking, and they go up, they're walking past me, they go upstairs. They could tell some offices or whatever, and 2 minutes later, all the music stopped. They lock off the music in the bank
because
they didn't renew their license.
So I think the issue here is probably education then.
Yes, I believe that. Yeah. I believe education. But you see, one of the issues that I have is that, one, there may be people who don't know that this is a thing. But what happens is, when the reactions are so visceral, then it becomes this war. And the same thing happened. I know. One day I was home, I get a call, and it was somebody who keeps an event in Nevis, and they were just like, "What going on here? These people come and tell me we owe them some money and whatever. And I was like, "Well, who called you and what they say owe them for?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "What?" I was like, "Okay, well, just talk to them. Just talk to them. Like, me and understand what you calling me for. They're gonna explain what you owe. Just have the conversation." But because even, for instance, a lot of artists don't even know. What you're supposed to do as an artist when you perform on on an event, you're supposed to log. You're supposed to actually send to your CMO the list of all the songs you performed. You're supposed to do that. DJ is supposed to log and give the log to the representatives of the songs that they played at the event. Like
really?
That's supposed, yeah. Ooh. But that is nothing hard, because like if you're using Serato, you literally just press print and it, like in the program.
Okay.
In the program, like the log is there. So you said these are the songs I played and just pass it on. And you ain't happen nothing. But it's so that they could more accurately distribute the funds that's collected.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So like these are the things that's supposed to be happening. Education, I think education could be better, for sure. But a lot of the times people want to use ignorance as an excuse. And I don't know in any other legal realm where that is generally the excuse. Like ignorance of the law is no excuse. So, yeah.
Well, time for a break, because that one was woo. It is definitely time to thank our sponsor.
But before we even do take a break, please, honestly though, check out the interview, the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so educational and, gives a lot of insight. But now it's break time,
into the entertainment industry.
Yes, sir.
So
we'll be
right
right
back.
Yes, sir.
Coronavirus, remember to wash your hands thoroughly and frequently before and after preparing food, after using the toilet or changing a diaper for a baby, sick person, or the elderly, after blowing your nose, and after leaving large gatherings or moving away from persons who appear ill. Encourage others to wash their hands and also use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer of 60 to 70% solution. Stay away from events having large gatherings of people. You can expose yourself to more possible infections in large groups. Also, avoid sharing cutlery, cups, glassware, etc. with others. Viruses can linger on these items and may be transferred this way. Avoid shaking and holding hands, and hugging or keeping an infected person in close proximity. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem featuring Jade, Gwyneth Johnson. And it is time to jump into more tea. Let's see. Okay, so let's talk about...
Do it. Just do it.
Azem is the one who elected for this, okay? Do not cuss me, because I see it in your face.
I just think it's interesting.
Thank you.
It's the first one on the thing, agenda?
No, it's the second, because I feel like we kind of touched on the first one already.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and who's that? Hold on. Before I ask him, that is whoever that person is, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. If you're a store, you play music in your store, then yes, you also should have a license. It's just a license, people. It's not a lot of money. Reach out to Echo.
Interesting. The more you know, eh? But Let's do so. Bermudians hire a lawyer to fight the government proposed COVID regulations.
Remember, you were asking where will we stop?
Azem blow off.
Because I feel like Azem caused this. Azem used to
So-
always be, when will we stop? When we're going to draw the line? CDP? Okay.
Some people draw a line.
So, a group of Bermuda residents have hired a Jamaican-born British barista. Is this supposed to be a tongue twister? To challenge the government's plans to introduce tough quarantine regulations next month. The London-based Queen's Counsel, Courtney Griffiths, says that public safety regulations imposed here to stem the coronavirus pandemic are oppressive and trample on Bermudians' constitutional rights. Griffiths, working in partnership with Bermudian attorney Charles Richardson, said that he will file legal papers in Bermuda's Supreme Court on Monday. In a statement, Griffiths said that the measures needed to be held up to scrutiny. The attitude of those behind those decisions seems to be that we know what's best for you, so simply do as we say. That is patently unacceptable. The Bermudian public is clearly not satisfied with what they perceive as overzealous outreach by the government, which has resulted in grossly unacceptable infringement of their constitutional rights, which is all what Griffith said. And also adding that curfew and other restrictions were impacting people's livelihoods. So this is Azem's doing.
So the people fed up.
No, but you see, my concern is when you push too far, sometimes the pushback goes too far. You see what I'm saying?
So who's pushing and who's going to?
So let's say the governments decide, well, you can't, for what? I want to say something that's ridiculous and something that wouldn't really happen. But let's say you can't
spit gum publicly anymore.
That's really not crazy because in Singapore you can't. In Singapore you can't.
In Singapore.
But for the record, I'm very much in agreement with that. I'm very much in agreement with that.
Same.
Yeah. But anyway, let's use that. Let's use that. So they said the government decided, well, because of COVID, you can't spit out your gum, right? It's a hazard, right? People might be like, okay, that's an overreach. But when the issue is debated and whether it is deliberated in court or whatever, it ain't gonna just be about the gum issue. It's gonna be about, well, who is it to tell me I must wear a mask? Who is it to tell me I must take vaccine? Who is it to tell me I must wash my hand? Who is it to tell me I must understand where I'm coming from? So sometimes you push so much that the pushback also just goes too much. Like, and that's, I keep asking the question, where are we going to draw the line? Because it seems as though the line doesn't exist and it's just a constant steady march towards more and more limitations and control.
That's how you feel?
Yeah.
In your heart of hearts, in your souls of souls?
Yeah, because they keep saying, hey, guess what, we're going to march a little further. If y'all in this, we're going to march a little further. And if y'all in, we're going to march a little further.
Gaston, you see, this is why I like Gaston, you know, because Gaston ain't do none of this. He said, this is the options, will or force.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we in will. Y'all don't want us to get to force. So before we get there...
I mean, quite frankly...
But that's what he said. The man didn't mince his words. He did not mince words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's
interesting to see how this... I think I want to follow this case and see how it plays out.
It's gonna be interesting. But they realize there's similar cases all across the world. Like, there's people who are questioning at what point does your personal rights end and the
you know what's funny?
What's best for the people?
Infringement begin.
You know
infringement begin.
What's that? What's the term for the way of government that you are literally for? Where everyone votes on. What's it called?
I mean, referendum?
Yes. if that was in place, right? Do you think we would have been in a situation now where we are just going based on what the officials tell us?
Well, I do think that referendum has its place. I would want to see that happen. And the truth is, this is what I think would happen. I think a lot of the things that are now instituted would still be the case, but it would be understood that it was the will of the majority of the people.
And that way they can't go back, because right now, right, basically everything the government does, whether you agree with it or not, the government will get blamed for it. The government will get pushed back on it, because yes, you elected these people to make the decisions for you, but now they're making the decisions for you. You're upset about the decisions, but that's what you put them there to do.
Yeah, but I don't believe that because we elect them, they should be able to go in there and we not have a say. I think it actually gives us...
Yes, we can have a say, but does our say really change what is happening?
I think it's important. I think it's important for us to keep that.
It is important. Yes, nobody is saying it's not, but I'm saying, even with this say that we have, does it really change policies or laws or anything that is put in place that we don't agree with?
If not directly, indirectly. If not directly, indirectly at the polls. And I do believe that...
At the polls, so every 4 years?
No. Jade, do you think that there's not things that the government hints at?
Just to see how
we're going to react? You think they don't do that?
And it's
they don't do that?
like
I want to know what
trial
one
and error.
Well, I want to know an example of that one. Like something they probably put out in the atmosphere to see.
I could give you one that gun come.
What?
Vaccine passports.
Oh. You think they would really do that one for real?
Yes.
Yikes.
And I do believe that they may think twice if, when the discussion comes up, there's a lot of public outrage and pushback.
But I feel like that's already happening. Because that's just another part of mandatory vaccinations. And we already see where people are with mandatory vaccinations.
Well, the issue with the vaccine passport is a little different. Is a little more than just like, should you take the vaccine or not to be able to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, there would be some level of, I mean, here it ain't so bad. Like the discrimination is, the vaccines are free. They are all around the island, so you have access. It's not a question of
You think they're going to
access.
stay free forever?
No.
Okay.
Not here in St Kitts. Most likely.
You think so?
We don't prefer any other vaccines.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I think in St Kitts it will
true.
stay free, but I think in other countries, at some point it will become a paper jab situation.
Yeah, but at the same time, for instance, what's the form the vaccine passport take? Is it an app? Is it a piece of paper? Like what is it?
Well, from history and St Kitts, it's probably going to be paper because we love paper. We love to have things that can get wet and destroyed easily, so we have to go buy a stamp and get a new one.
But you see, that's my issue too. My issue too is that I feel like I feel like it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. And there's definitely some concern there in regards to private companies profiting from things like the vaccine passport. We've seen how they profit from the information that is given. So, for instance, look at how our information is sold by other private companies.
Census is very.
Yeah. So,
very
I think there's
they're gonna have to go on and shout at your gate and be like, outside, and then you have to come outside.
Oh, don't do that still.
You sure?
There's only one question they're gonna ask. They're gonna ask you all the other questions.
What question they're gonna ask you?
If you take the vaccine.
Take a call quickly before. Oh dear.
Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up? We lost a caller. Let's see if we get this other one if my finger don't. Oh. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Good morning. A pleasant morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Here. First time calling you guys. First time calling the radio in quite a while as well.
Oh, wow.
And I'm following you guys' discussion there on government and policies and how they should consult with the public. The first thing one has to remember, when a government is elected, whether or not a particular segment of the society or community have voted for you, you are now a representative of 100% of the people, not your supporters. You're representing everybody. And so when you're going to enact laws and things, for example, you're going into Parliament, and only the day before you're going into Parliament, or 2 days before you go into Parliament, the people know what you're going into Parliament about. Right? Unless it's an emergency that you're going into Parliament for, you have Parliament planned months ahead. The people should know months ahead what are you going into Parliament to try to debate and enact, and give the people enough time to filter through the issue. But the problem is, when a government get elected, they know they have a certain base. And they know no matter what they do, the pushback from the base is not going to happen. The two people who will sort of go on the fence and try to straddle the fence are insignificant to them. So in that instance, they don't care. Because at the end of the day, they know they are safe, basically, with the base. For example, is like the Trump, that's like Trump mentality. Trump don't care because he know whatever he do, his base is not going to budge. But government has to be bigger than that. When you're in government, you have to remember you are a representative of all the people. You're not representing PAM anymore, Labour anymore, Unity anymore. You are representing the entire nation, and anything you do has to be a reflection of what the entire society feels.
Okay, Carla, give me an example of what you're referring to. What do you feel like?
I don't have to give you an example. They're out there all the time. You listen every day.
For people who may not know, like myself, that what you're talking about, can you give me an example? If we're going to have a discussion, you have to provide some sort of stats.
No, come on. That's you're trying to, and I realize based on how you yourself was trying to hedge what Azem was trying to tell you. You was trying to have the argument both ways. I do not have to give you an example because they are listening. I don't have a list written down to go to. You know the issues that are happening around in St Kitts all the time. Everybody knows. So I don't have to give you. It is something that all the government do. It's not just this government. All of them do it. So for me to try to weed through it to give you an example is insignificant. You understand? But I appreciate you guys hearing me out.
Yeah, man, I appreciate your call. Thank you.
Sorry for asking questions. But you're not allowed to ask questions.
No. But but okay, and that goes. As a matter of fact,
Listen, I like conversations where you can give me examples. I'm not for or against anybody, so I don't think that's. Well, if you want to think that way, that's your problem. But for me, I ask Azem for examples all the time. I ask Kevon for examples. They ask me the same. But I like examples so we could break down conversations. Anyway, Azem, back to you.
Yeah, I was saying that, for instance, we had a similar. I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example.
You will?
I'll give you an example. I won't lose a local example. It was something that was big in the news recently, where Kamala Harris, who is the vice president of the United States.
When she said American racism.
Right. No. So yeah. So this is the thing. I believe that she, and I think how the question came at her was, it was weird. It was weird, and the thing about it was, when she speaks from that position again, she's not the vice president of black people, which is what the caller was saying. Yeah. She's the vice president of the United States, so that includes a lot of people, a lot of different people. So I think, and so like what you're saying, try to straddle a certain line I try to, and in some cases they do that. In some cases they do the opposite way. They play to their base. So, for instance, I can't substantiate. No, all the time, because remember, just Friday, we had a guest on the show who was telling us that one of the things that was expressed by the Prime Minister in our country was that no labor person can go hungry during the pandemic. Remember that? So
yeah, right.
So
why would you say that?
so certain times, you know, they play to certain, yeah. But I think the point that was made is like, yeah, you're no longer you no longer represent just the people who support your party, but you're in a position where you have to represent all the citizens, all the people, whether it's from your constituency, the country, the people in the industries that you're given stewardship over, like so.
And you made a good point, because when we were listening to the caller when he was saying about Parliament and releasing what you're going to discuss in Parliament. Truthfully, a lot of as Azem mentioned, like he doesn't feel like a lot of people
don't care
about Parliament. And it's
how much people ever read a white paper?
But not only
how much people even know what a white paper is?
But not only that, let's say you didn't have let's say you didn't have access to all this information. We now have it because Parliament is live. And people still don't tune in, pay attention. But then after, they argue about things that come from Parliament, and a lot of the things that they argue about are hearsay. They're not even sure if that's what they say, because your friend cousin tell you.
Of the actual conversation.
Yes, context matters a lot in these conversations. So if you're not paying attention, like, how are you going to honestly contribute to the conversation when you don't know what the conversation is?
But that's the thing, because a lot of times when I hear people discussing Parliament, they don't discuss the policy, you know. They discuss the behavior of the parliamentarians, one.
True.
Or they might discuss instead of discussing the actual policy at the time, they discuss something from the past, or how they could say that they forget when they used to and it's like, but again, I do think there's more they could do. For instance, like, but who they read the Gazette? Nobody read the Gazette. Exactly. You didn't even know the Gazette be. So and no, that's a serious thing. Like, you're not alone. You're not alone.
Do they have electric?
I don't even know if they have electric. I don't even think they got electric version of the Gazette.
They need to. But anyway, before we continue, I get too deep. It is now 10 o'clock. We have to go off the radio, unfortunately.
Home time.
I know y'all wanted to continue this conversation, but you know.
Sorry to all the callers who've been trying to reach into the end thing. The discussion just been going.
We have all week. Not speaking of all week, but guess what this month is? We have to say it quickly. This month is our anniversary. It is the 24th. Let me just check, because I don't want to give you all a wrong day.
Yeah, I could believe you're on the air for a year.
I can't.
Right?
It is the 25th. Yes, the 25th. The show started May 25th,
that's the Tuesday,
2020. Yes.
But the same Tuesday I was talking to you about last night. But anyway.
Oh, yes, it was. So, something going to have to work out. Yeah, but, we have time. We can fit a lot in 1 week. But, yeah. And,
that there is very, the universe is speaking to me. The universe is speaking. Synchronicity. Our anniversary is actually African Liberation Day.
It all aligns. But y'all think we don't love Africa.
It all aligns, I tell you.
It is the universe is aligned.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, but guys, so this month is gonna be fun. We're gonna have a lot of interesting guests, a lot of interesting topics. And guys, again, I just like to
reiterate
just how grateful we are and appreciative for you guys supporting us. Really coming out every morning and listening to us. So big up all the Day One fans. Big up all the guys who came along somewhere in one of the umpteenth episodes and stuck with us.
Thank you for all the encouragement and all of the feedback that we got, because we've gotten a lot.
Yeah, and big up to all you guys who listen to that for the first time, whether you're coming back or you ain't coming back.
We love you still.
We love you still. But yeah, guys, it's time is fast spent. We plan to be here for the rest of the week. Thankfully, we are here today. No debris fell on us.
We didn't even get to. We're gonna do it tomorrow. We're gonna do it tomorrow.
We didn't get. Yeah, we have to talk about that.
Just know that we are marked safe.
Yo, it was one thing that just had me just like, I was so saddened by this thing that I just had to laugh this whole weekend. Like I just
because you wasn't sure.
I'll just say quickly. If there was only one possible place for the debris to land based on the orbit of the satellite, if it were to hit in the Caribbean, why is it that the one place that it may have hit, if it hit land in the Caribbean, was going to be Haiti?
Oh, but I was going to say St Kitts. But that's just as bad because Lord.
Like Haiti can't get break. I see the line. The line was so funny, right? Like, you know, there's Haiti and there's the Dominican Republic, right? Ain't even on this side of Dominican. It was. I just like, yo.
It wasn't the
wow,
island.
That's wild. That is wild.
I was like, what is happening? Like, of all the land masses in the world.
It dropped into the Indian Ocean, so.
Yeah. But anyway, tomorrow we could talk about that. I was just.
That's wild, Mingale. But
Yeah.
Kevon, take us out, please, because woo.
Because you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.